Yo.
なんです。妙な取り合わせね。彩香さんとその彼氏はわかりますが、律子まで。
It's been a while. Oh god. Okay, let's just play. On the next day, we went to visit the headmistress first thing after class. The headmistress eyed the three of us with suspicion.
お母様、今日は大事なお話があってきたんです。
And
大事なお話？
that smirk. That smirk. She let out a chuckle as if realizing something.
学生の分際で子供でも授かってしまったの？
Oh, fuck you.
なるほど。
Yeah.
何がなるほどですか？本当にそうなの？未婚の母などそんな外分の悪いことは許し。
お母様にとってはよほどショックなことだったんでしょうね。
え？
Get fucked.
子供を妊娠したことが。
何を言っているの？
The headmistress sounded genuinely baffled.
律子をこのお腹に宿した時、ショックなことなど何もありませんでした。
Did you deliberately dye Ritsuko's hair to match yours? I don't know. It seems pretty unlikely that they both have black hair.
神の祝福を一身に感じて、この上もない幸福感に包まれたものよ。ショックなことなど。
2人目の子供の時はそうだったんでしょうけど。
は？
She looked up at her in alarm, but rage spread slowly through her face.
妙な侮辱はおよしなさい。私に隠し子などあるはずがない。
隠してはいませんからね。
はあ？彩香さん、あなた熱でもあるんじゃなくて？さっきからわけのわからないことばかり言っている。
It's time. It was not merely, clearly meant to provoke her, but from where I was standing, Ayaka just looked sad.
お母様は本当に辛かったんでしょうね。
何が？
不倫の恋をして結婚できないということは神の祝福もまた受けられないということだから。
I'm not sure if the microphone is actually picking up the noise from the expressway. God damn. It's super loud. It's so loud. I kinda doubt that. Okay, whatever.
私の母親とされていた富江さんですけど。
は？
Yeah. The mistress' mouth had formed a perfect. Oh. But Ayaka ignored her and to continue.
お母様の親友だったんですよね。親友の夫を奪ってしまって、普通の人でも両親の呵責を覚えるところだわ。加えてお母様の場合、敬虔なクリスチャンですから、会員は大罪になる。
Okay, I hope we're not forcing her to jump off.
うるさいわね。先に裏切ったのは、問題を起こしたのは富江さんの方なのよ。私はあの人を慰めてあげて、ただそれだけのことで。
でも癌で入院していた人が浮気なんかできると思う？
癌？
A tremble went through the mistress' shoulders. She pressed her hand to her forehead, her brow knitted as if she were trying to remember something.
癌って富江さんが？
The Headmistress had forgotten the truth. Rather, somehow, she locked it away at the back of her mind.
親友の死因なのにお母様は覚えていないの？
死因？
She repeated the words distantly.
お父さんとの馴れ初めは？
馴れ初め？それは私があの店の常連で、それで
あの店？どの店よ？
だからなんて言ったかしら。
Papator. Her earlier oppressive air had vanished, and her statements were now all like questions.
ああ、そう。パ
Ah,
トーレ月の石じゃない。
you got it.
私はそこであの人と。
Yes
違う。
and no. Almost there.
パッパトーレ月の石はお父さんがオーナーシェフとして開いた店でしょ？10年前に。
The Headmistress's body was trembling all over now.
名前が出てこないのはあなたは行ったことなんかないから。お父さんが修行していた店に。つまり2人が出会ったのは富江さんの病室。
There we go. The game of denial. The mistress shook her head over and over, denying it.
きっとお互い一目惚れだったんでしょうね。
Probably. Unlikely with girls, but maybe. They do say that it takes usually a week or two for the girl to develop feelings for a man. I don't know. I might be spouting bullshit, but
バカな。富江さんとあの人は夫婦で、私はそのようなみだらな想像など。
her face had turned so pale one might think she was ill. She does look ill in the first place, hello? Look at how white her skin is compared to Ayaka. Alright? Look at that. Ooh. Okay, you don't see my mouse cursor, but I'm all over that. I'm all over that. How white is that? In comparison to Ayaka, who's much more... how do I say it? A bit more yellowish, I guess. Okay. What a massive train wreck. Maybe she really did feel sick.
マグダラのマリアを気取るのもいい加減にしたらどう？
Her voice was shockingly harsh.
出会うのが早いか遅いかという問題だってあるでしょ。いずれにしろ人を好きになるということは決して悪いことではないわ。
And the small trembles running through her body became larger.
お母様、あなたは妻のある人を愛してしまったの。その結果、私が生まれた。
Look out! Like,
お母様、お母さん。
let's go. I flew out suddenly, catching her. In the process, her face had gone merely beyond, not gone beyond, no, beyond merely pale. Now it was as white as a sheet. Is there any other word you can use for as white as? I'm guessing styrofoam. Styrofoam is pretty damn white, eh? or their uniforms. Ritsuko-chan touched her forehead.
汗びっしょり。おでこは冷たいのに。
Anyway, let's get her to the sofa. I fucked that
お
up.
願い。私は保健の先生を呼んでくるわ。
Yeah, go get her.
私も手伝いましょうか。
Yeah. No. I think I can handle it. I picked her up, carried her to the sofa.
びっくりしました。急に倒れたので。
And the fact that she is not struggling upon contact with Masaya surprises me. Yep. She had clearly been suffering for a while. Oh man. Oh man. This is so... Like... I don't... This is not how I want this to go, man. Like, it's all so solemn and I can't really bring myself to sound energetic, you know? Ritsuko-chan knelt down next to her mother and touched her forehead again. So is this some kind of chronic disease?
いえ、それはないと思います。姉さんに追求されて、それが苦しかったのではないかと。
Okay. I thought so. She started acting strangely the minute Ayaka started contradicting what she thought she knew.
自分で自分をごまかしていたんですね。
Yep.
ずっと。
Yep. And we broke her down, Phoenix Wright style. Right. Okay. This is something I wanted to ask too. Who the hell is Mary Magdalene? Who is she?
イエスの弟子とも妻ともされる女性です。
What? So... It's Mother Mary. Okay. So he was married. That I didn't know. I legitimately did not know.
あくまでそういう説があるというだけですから、教派自体いくつもありますし。
Okay. Fair enough.
姉さんが言及したのはヨハネ第8章のことだと思います。姦淫を犯した女に民衆が石を投げるという話ですが。
Which is an awful thing to do. Honestly. Yeah.
一説によると、その女がマグダラのマリアともされているので。
Oh? So, what happened to her? That sounds so wrong. Holy fuck. Masaya. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Did they stone her to death?
いいえ、罪のない者だけが石を投げよ。イエスがそう言うと、民衆は一人残らず去ってしまい、それで女は助かりました。
He who is without sin. In other words, those who had never even thought above committing adultery. Yeah. It is a serious problem. But not one person. Maybe some. I was about to say not one person could resist the temptation, you know? If you truly love a person so much that you risk committing adultery, you really can't help it. It's just difficult. Surely there was no one like that. In other words, there is no one in the world who is without sin. That's fucking true. The health teacher, okay. So she thinks it's just anemia and she should wake up soon enough. Turn on the aircon while I bring a blanket from my office. Okay.
はい。
Yes, ma'am. We did all we could, then stood up idly and looked down at the headmistress' sleeping face. But although she was sleeping, it looked like she was having a nightmare. She is currently having a nightmare. Yeah.
お母さん、泣いてる。
The truth had to go. I looked towards that. I'm fucking up so much. It really has been so long since I recorded. Like, oh man, dude, and this is depressing. Fuck. The fact that I'm fucking up, as well as this scene. God. Okay, I looked towards the corner of her eyes, and indeed, there were clear drops in them.
どんな夢を見ているのかしらね。
How the hell would I know? Probably flashbacks? Okay, this is probably the headmistress's point of view now. Or rather, her dream world. Okay. So Mason was always on my mind. Maybe it was because I felt so close to her. She and I had similar personalities. Single-minded, stubborn, with an unripe sense of justice. We annoyed the hell out of people around us. Goddamn. Then believed it was their fault for getting annoyed. That's the kind of girls they were. Both were Christian, but we were in the vast minority. Von Sense was founded by a mission, but it wasn't really very religious. Because of that, neither of us quite fit in, and maybe that's what made us so hard, and maybe that's what bound us together so tightly. We were like two peas in a pod. People used to say in a past life, they must have been twins. You might have been. Did that go to meet their final judgment? There's no such thing as reincarnation. I would say that, and they would all shrink back. We were so similar. Perhaps it was inevitable that we had fallen in love with the same person. Paparizko and Ayaka. Of course, Kaori-sama was the most popular girl in school, and at that point she was known as Son of the School, which is Risei's title. But because we had such superficial seriousness, we sincerely believed that our feelings were genuine, not simply trend chasing. In our desperation to be closer to Kaori-sama, we joined the White Lily Society. Now, who is this Kaori-sama? And Tomie-san's face still remains a mystery. We made that childish promise. Neither of us moves on without the other, and we kept it for a year. That's how long it lasted. Kaori-sama didn't seem to grow closer to either of us in particular, which was a relief, and yet felt insufficient. That year, Kaori-sama was unanimously elected student council president, and we both entered the student council after her. When Kaori-sama became a third-year student, we began looking forward to Chante de Noël in December even more. Of course, everyone knew that she hadn't exchanged rosaries with anyone yet, because for a whole year, the rumor had been going through the year fucking school. That Kaori-sama would have to choose someone for her last chance. And we, who had spent so much time with her in the White Lily Society and the Student Council, felt especially confident. As La Toute Soro, Kaori-sama had put extra caution into being impartial and showed no sign of liking anyone in particular. So she was like the Marika-sama of present. Okay. And so, when that fateful day came, I couldn't believe that I was really the one chosen. I still remember pinching myself to confirm whether or not I was dreaming. I remember how pitifully my hand trembled when I exchanged rosaries with Kaori-sama. The candlelit cathedral was so dark, and One-sama's face was so radiant. I couldn't see anything else. The time until One-sama graduated in March passed like a dream. I won't deny that, somewhere inside of me, I began to feel a feeling of superiority towards my best friend. The love that we had cultivated for so long. For all that time, we believed that was real love. With that shattered into pieces, things slowly became harder on her. As her best friend, I understood that better than anyone, but that just fostered an ugly feeling inside of me. Maybe that was what planted the seed in my heart that allowed me to betray her in later years. But Tomie-san acted more nobly than I did. She hid her emotions. She acted happy for me. After Kaori-sama graduated, we had the school finally calmed down. We approached graduation with our friendship intact, though not as solid as before. That is, most of the graduating students continued on to Vincennes Women's University. Should we shorten it into VWU, including us? But Kaori-sama wasn't there. Regardless, I was surrounded by people I knew, and at first, I felt like it was merely a continuation of my school life, but that impression faded way too quickly. There was no longer the feeling of isolation that there was at the academy. That too was natural. Kaori-sama had chosen to marry rather than go to college, and moved to Tokyo. It's not something that you consider when you're living at school, but everyone ages. Even me. Those changes reached her eventually, too. And Tomie found a boyfriend. I began to feel an ugly jealousy inside of me. I felt like she had moved on without me. I spent less time with my best friend. I felt something gnawing at me inside, but I kept cutting off our meetings early. Perhaps due to my pride. We graduated from college, and I returned to my alma mater to teach, as I had decided I would. Tomie was already engaged and became a housewife, choosing not to work. 1 year after I began my work, she held her wedding. I had heard about him many times before. Mr. Papa Ayaka and Ritsuko, Koji-san. I saw Koji-san for the first time at her wedding, and it felt as if electricity was running through my body. Tears began to flow from my eyes. I thought it was only natural to feel that way at my friend's wedding, but the truth was something far different. They were the tears of blackest grief. For the first time in my life, I had fallen in love at first sight. I was assailed by irrational thoughts. Why wasn't I the one, standing there beside him? the reception, the new couple came by each table to light candles. When they came to mine, it wasn't my best friend's radiant form that caught my eye, but the face of a man I had never met. When the bride addressed me, I gasped and looked at her. I spat the word "congratulations." Mechanically, something like "congratulations." And from that day forward, we grew more and more estranged. To me, I most likely thought it was just because I was still single. My feelings of attraction towards a married man terrified me. As 3 years passed, we barely spoke to each other at all. And as a result, I was shocked beyond belief when I heard that Tomei was in the hospital with an illness. Cancer, apparently. I went to see her right away. At the time, the only thought on my mind was concern for my best friend. Or so I wanted to believe. But my unrequited love was still smothering inside me. I again met Koji-san. There in that hospital that smelled of death. It was the second time we'd met, but he acted as though it were the first. There was no sign of the healthy, beautiful Tomei-san I had known there. And it was cancer, they say. Koji-san had chosen to announce it, so Tomei found out right away. She was too young for such tragedy, and for the first time in my life, I questioned the existence of God. I couldn't stand to watch Koji's sadness. Tomei and I restored our friendship quickly, and yet, more and more, Tomei just remained in bed, while I was free. I wonder how aware of that I was. Looking back at it now, it's too sad to think about. I betrayed my one and only best friend. And those hellish days began. Days of betrayal. Of a love that ate away at me. As a Christian, I had always imagined a blessed wedding day. But now, that was beyond me. Day by day, my friend grew weaker. She had lost so much weight that her eyes had grown larger. Every night they stared into me, as if saying into all of my sin and betrayal. Then in May, when the fresh buds announced new life, she neared the end of hers. When I learned that her illness had entered the critical stage, I rushed to the hospital. Just then, a violent nausea overtook me, and I had to rush to the bathroom. I stared down at the white wash basin and retched. I had noticed that I had missed my monthly cycle, but I ignored it as a mere menstrual irregularity. I turned on the faucet and splashed cold water on my face, denying it in my mind again and again. Tomei-san was called to heaven. And meanwhile, my stomach had swollen too large to be ignored. Vaguely, I remembered what people had said about us as girls. Twins in a former life. I began to believe that the child growing inside of me might be Tomei's reincarnation. I felt the nausea welling up inside of me again. I no longer had it in me to dismiss such words as a joke. And that's when the memories become hazy. I believe I took a year's leave of absence from work, but I'm not certain. I don't have any memories of our ceremony. Maybe we decided that a wedding was out of the question. I have very few memories of the birth too. The next thing I knew, there was a baby in the house. They said that the girl was my daughter. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were lying to me. Couldn't accept the cries of that new baby as accusations of my own betrayal. The child? It couldn't be my child. It must have been the child, to me, left behind. It meant that I stole her, of course, but that sin would be a lesser one. My mind was clouded by a heavy fog, but began to clear by the time of my second pregnancy. After Ritsuko was born, things became much clearer. Clearly, Ayaka was Tomi's child. It was all perfectly clear in my mind. I was strict in my dealing with Ayaka. My husband always smiled at it with discomfort, but he never really tried to rebuke me. She's your best friend's child, so why can't you love her? When I tried to probe deeper, a milky whiteness flooded into my brain and I had to stop. Ayaka was so young. She realized that there was something she would never have to, no matter how she wanted it. And the only way that she could protect herself was to put on a mask. Why won't God punish me? Why did I have to run from my friend until the very end? I felt like I was going insane. And more, I began to resent Ayaka. And now, I know. Ayaka is not my best friend's child. She is mine. How long am I going to make her suffer like this? My daughter chose to throw aside her mask and tell me how she felt, so why can't I? Jesus. Rise and shine. Hello. Tears streamed from her eyes as the headmistress finally awoke. So, will you continue to be the bitch that you are? Or you were? Possibly were? She lifted up just her hand and looked around the room in confusion. The moment her gaze fell on Ayaka, her expression froze.
Tomie-san!
Some sort of light appeared in the headmistress's eyes. Fear, but it disappeared again immediately. You fell asleep and teared up so much, having a massive flashback. And now we have learned the whole story of this woman, Mrs. Headmistress. She sat up to realize that she was lying down on her own couch.
貧血だそうよ。
Yeah.
貧血そう
Yeah. You need more iron intake, alright? You should take care of your body more.
大丈夫なの？
ええ特に問題はないわ
The headmistress folded up the blanket and sat down properly on the sofa. Ayaka spoke. Her expression pointed.
お母様、さっきの話だけど。
さっきの話
Yeah. Ayaka sighed. The response didn't sound fake to me either.
何かしらこれ。
She touched the corner of her eyes and then stared at her fingertips. She stared in disbelief for a moment. She realized they were tears.
お母さん泣いていたから。今日のところはこれで失礼します、お母様。
今日のところは
行きましょう。
At her urging, Ritsuko and I stood up.
待ちなさい。彩香さん。
何か？
いえ、何でもない。
失礼します。
And let's end this here. Holy hell, that was a lot of reading. Thankfully, my voice isn't as fucked up as I thought it would be. Yeah. I guess I'm kind of recovering right now. For now. Yeah. Like, dude. This past few weeks has been shit, dude. Has been shit. I missed this game. Okay, how long has it been since I recorded last?
セーブするの？
Let's see. 20 days ago. Fucking hell.
セーブ。
20 days. That's nearly 3 weeks. Nearly 3 weeks. 3 weeks, man! Oh, dude. Alright. I'm ending this here. Alright. I'll be recording the next one right after I have a drink of water. Okay. I'll see you soon. Yeah? Hopefully this will be the end of a long hiatus of 20 days. Yeah.